1912, the world witnessed the most luxurious ship ever built, a ship called Titanic, a floating palace, designed for the richest people on Earth, believed to be unsinkable. But just 4 days after leaving port, it sank beneath the icy Atlantic, taking more than 1,500 souls to their watery graves. But who was behind this grand dream? Who owned the Titanic? And why did this masterpiece of human ambition end in tragedy? Today, we uncover the full story, from the mind of its owner to the final moment it disappeared into the deep ocean. The true power behind the Titanic wasn't just a shipbuilder. It was a man, John Pierpont Morgan, known to the world as J.P. Morgan, one of the richest and most powerful businessmen of his time. Born on April 17, 1837, in Hartford, Connecticut, Morgan was a banking titan. His empire, J.P. Morgan and Company, controlled railroads, steel companies, and even electricity in America. By the early 1900s, Morgan dreamed bigger. He wanted to dominate the shipping industry. His company, the International Mercantile Marine, owned several major shipping lines, including the White Star Line, which would create the Titanic. Morgan's dream was to build the largest and most luxurious ships ever, symbols of wealth, progress, and British craftsmanship. In 1908, Morgan's company commissioned Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast, Ireland, to build 3 sister ships, Olympic, Titanic, and Britannic. The man in charge of design was Thomas Andrews, a genius shipbuilder known for precision and elegance. The ship's chairman, J. Bruce Ismay, wanted it to be faster, larger, and more luxurious than anything the world had seen. Titanic's construction began on March 31, 1909, and took over 2 years to complete. It was 882 feet long, 175 feet high, and weighed more than 46,000 tons. The ship had 9 decks, 4 massive funnels, and 16 watertight compartments designed to keep it afloat even if several were damaged. They called it unsinkable. Titanic wasn't just a ship, it was a floating hotel for the world's elite. First-class suites had private promenades, crystal chandeliers, and Turkish baths. The dining hall stretched longer than the halls of many castles. There was a gymnasium, a swimming pool, reading rooms, and even an onboard orchestra. First-class passengers paid up to $4,350 for a single ticket. Celebrities, businessmen, and aristocrats boarded with pride. Among the passengers were John Jacob Astor IV, one of the richest men in America, and Benjamin Guggenheim, the mining magnate. On April 10, 1912, Titanic set sail from Southampton, England, bound for New York City. Over 2,200 passengers and crew were aboard, rich and poor, dreamers and workers, all chasing new beginnings. Ironically, J.P. Morgan himself was supposed to be on board, but he canceled his trip at the last moment, allegedly for business or health reasons. Some later called this fate. 4 days later, on April 14, 1912, at 11:40 p.m., disaster struck. The ship collided with an iceberg in the North Atlantic. The impact tore open 6 compartments, far more than the ship could handle. As water flooded in, panic began to spread. The Titanic was doomed. There were only 20 lifeboats on board, enough for just half the passengers. Women and children were loaded first. The ship's band played music to calm the crowd. At 2:20 a.m., on April 15th, the Titanic split in 2 and vanished beneath the freezing ocean. More than 1,500 people died that night. Only 705 survived, rescued by the nearby ship Carpathia. News of the disaster shocked the entire world. J.P. Morgan's White Star Line faced public outrage, and investigations were launched in both the US and the UK. The Titanic became a global symbol, not just of human achievement, but also of human arrogance. Morgan was deeply affected by the loss. Though he denied responsibility, the tragedy stained his reputation. He continued his banking empire, but his health declined. J.P. Morgan died in Rome, Italy, on March 31, 1913, just 1 year after Titanic sank. He never lived to see the wreck discovered decades later. In 1985, The wreck of the Titanic was finally discovered, lying 12,500 feet below the surface of the Atlantic. Today, the ship remains one of the most famous and tragic stories in history, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and the legendary 1997 film Titanic. But the true story goes beyond romance or tragedy. It's about the ambition of men like J.P. Morgan, who believed they could conquer nature itself. The Titanic was built to be remembered forever, and it was. But in its beauty lay a warning. No matter how great human achievement becomes, nature always has the final word. If you think this story of ambition, power, and tragedy teaches a lesson the world has forgotten, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible true stories that change history forever.